Okey-doke. That's pretty common.
Okay, I'm gonna put this corner out and then I'll move down your way a little bit.
I am Joe Graves. This is my brother Clark Graves. We own this farm in partnership. We operate it as Graves Family Forests because it's very much a family operation. Plans for the future are all about the family and the transition to the family. Farm has been in our family since 1905. It was left to us by our great aunt Irene Yancey Graves Brandon, to my father, and then my brother and I.
We want this to be a long-term sustainable forest. It can provide income for our descendants and can help them manage and be set up for them so they don't have to do a lot of the groundwork we've done. And things will be rolling right along for them, we hope. And if they have a sincere interest in it, they can maintain it with as little trouble as possible as far as income goes.
And you know, we didn't come from a background of forestry. We haven't been on this land all our lives. Maybe with the exception of Boy Scouting, it was the only time that we had any conservation training as we grew up. But we came out here, we knew that things needed to be done on the farm. We wanted to do them in the right ways, and we started attending the Forest Landowners training programs, and every time we go we learn something. Most of those things we have applied on this farm. Very few of them don't apply to any forest holding.
Every acre needs to produce its maximum potential. And that doesn't necessarily mean money, but it may be, you know, wildlife corner, or it may be, it may be timber, or it may be agricultural.
We found out, even as we have, I guess, matured in the forestry management aspects of our farm, that every time we go on these tours, we learn valuable information. We either learn something new, get different ideas of the way we can approach them, or it reinforces what we're doing or what we've done in the past. It makes us feel like we have done the right thing.
So they create the holes, and then also through their activity, they kind of slough off the outer gray bark.
Since we've been to all this training, it's fairly easy for us to see the different aspects of the farm, different stands of trees, to relate to people what we've done in those areas, what we think is an improvement of what the stand was originally.
But this is set up to burn, hopefully burn every year in three pieces. We burn this 1 year, burn this section 1 year, and this section 1 year. You want to put in sweat equity, you can do it yourself. Now, if you're going to manage your burns, you need to become burn certified.
A large part of our goal is also wildlife enhancement. We tried to provide good cover for wildlife, good food for wildlife, and these controlled prescribed burns are aiding with that.
We're beginning our 18th burn on the property. Fire is an extremely useful tool. It was used by the American Indians, by the early settlers, by the farmers until just recently. The quail has been called a firebird, and it really is adapted to land that's been burnt. And so the burning under the understory of thin pines seems to be very effective. Now, we're hearing more quail whistling on the property. Things are happening, and prescribed burning is helping us. It's definitely something not to be afraid of. It is a useful tool.
Rolling pretty good in those pine needles in there. I'm thinking, better go back over here and go on up by that switchgrass and come in from that end.
I think if you aren't managing your forest, you're wasting a resource. The forests need to be properly managed for the health of the trees, for the health of the land, for erosion conservation, and greatly, as we've discussed, for wildlife. If you aren't managing your farm, I think you're wasting your resource.
And in the long term, it will produce more revenue for you too, to pay taxes and improve other things on the farm, and provide funds for the future generations to use.
one of the reasons that our great aunt, my father's aunt, left us this farm was that she thought that we would keep it, improve it, manage it, and let the family use it, and that's what we have done. That's what we try to fulfill her wishes, and we'll try to, and we're passing that on to our children and grandchildren, that is what this property is for, to look after all of us.